last month, they called me and told me I've been chosen to go on this flight.
Not that I deserve the honor so much as I'm happy to be able to give some credit to the fellows that were and are still honored.
I've been holding my breath, wishing that I would be chosen, and I just lucked out, I guess.
These U.S. war veterans are ready to go less than a day before their honor flight to Washington to visit the nation's war memorials. At 2 a.m., the veterans, accompanied by volunteers and family members, gather for an official ceremony before leaving Orlando, Florida.
We are one of 130 to 135 hubs across the United States. We do 7 flights a year. Each flight we take 25 veterans and 25 guardians with 6 staff. That allows us to fit on one large motor coach with 56 people.
Each veteran has a guardian, specifically appointed volunteers who each pay $400 to take part in the program. Peggy Gavigan is accompanying Korea and Vietnam War veteran Charles Smith.
Well, my husband's a vet, and he did it, and he was telling me what an experience it was and how great it was, so I was really excited and I wanted to be a guardian.
A ceremonial guard greets the veterans at the airport. The Honor Flight program has flown 160,000 American war veterans to Washington since it began in 2005.
It started with a retired Air Force physician's assistant. His name was Morris. He was working in Dayton, Ohio, I believe. And as the World War II memorial was finished, he was talking to World War II veterans, and they were not. Many of them said, "Yeah, I have no way of ever getting there. I can't get there." So he was a member of the flying club, the local flying club. So he started by asking other members of the flying club to fly veterans to Washington, D.C. And the very first flight were in private little airplanes, and they took 12 veterans to Washington, D.C.
The program grew rapidly and now works with a major U.S. airline.
My lords, my ladies, now arriving in the airport terminal from Orlando, Florida, the Space Coast Honor Flight carrying veterans from World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. God bless our veterans. God bless America.
In Washington, their busy schedule includes visits to the Marine Corps War Memorial, World War II Memorial, Vietnam Veterans Memorial, and the Korean War Veterans Memorial.
It brings back a lot of memories. We didn't have any winter clothes. We were wearing, to break the wind, we were wearing our ponchos, which snapped together and formed a 2-man tent.
After a day filled with memories, veterans come back home the same day.
It's the best day of my life today, as far as the military goes. Nobody's shooting at you, nothing. I'm happy. I'm happy to be home and see these great memorials.
I thought it was something I should do before I die.
The program flights run April through November. More than 20,000 veterans are still waiting their turn to make the memorable trip. For Lesia Bakalets in Orlando and Washington, Anna Rice, VOA News.